Thank you very much. So, full crowd, that's pretty awesome. It's better than a previous talk I had. Anyway, so just let me give you a little introduction to legal AI, an overview, what is available, what people use, what lawyers use, judges use. And I mean, you already know this AI startup landscape. It is full of startups using AI stuff, very cool stuff in project management, marketing, whatsoever. If you check now the legal part here, then it is there, over there. It's pretty small. I need to zoom in to show it a little bit further, but we have only 2 startups using AI in the legal area. This is not a lot, but I mean, if you take a deeper look, okay, the landscape is a little bit bigger. We have also a lot of middle-sized companies using AI. You see, like Back Online also uses AI. I mean, many companies already use AI, but it's still not very dominant in this area, in this legal area. But the use case, the number of use cases is pretty a lot. So let me tell you what kind of use cases you could imagine for the legal space. So first of all, imagine I had a car accident. And now I look for a lawyer, and I have all the photos, I have my name, of course I have my name, but I look for a lawyer, I need to send all this information to the lawyer. Now AI can support in the way that I send through a chatbot all this information, the photo, my name, what happened, whatsoever, and the lawyer directly gets all the information in a somehow file system. So here the lawyer spends not so much time for asking all these questions, but chatbot takes all this time, which is quite a big support for lawyers. We also have like whole client communication you can imagine through chatbots like ChatGPT, as we all know. Also, legal research can be done with AI. Imagine you have some different resources like libraries or whatsoever, and you have a certain case on your table, and now you look for similar cases, how you can solve it, could be the decision. So here AI could be very useful just to find very similar cases and everything. Also, extracting information from documents. I mean, legal is really, everything is analog, everything is manual, you do everything on paper-based. So it's pretty important in order to accelerate digitalization to extract information from PDF and also using OCR solutions. So, and if you extract all the information, you could also forward them to the person who's responsible, so document categorization. So you see that the number of use cases is quite diverse. But the big question is why we still not have a lot of AI use cases in the legal sector. And maybe you all know already the answer more or less, fear. I mean, all the people, judges and lawyers, they just fear that they are replaced by AI. Another big topic here in Germany is regulation. I mean, Germany and European Union is full with regulation. And of course, lawyers and judges are aware of all these regulations, so they cannot simply use AI within their work. A third part is performance issues. All the models we know actually are trained on English data, and they are not performing that well in German. So this is also a big issue. So let me go into detail for all these parts. So first of all, as I said, I mean, lawyers are super afraid of being replaced. But if I go to lawyers, then I always say, you know, don't worry, we still need you. And at the end, I mean, if it is a case about little amount of money, you don't need like a lawyer to handle all these things. You could still use like ChatGPT to create information document whatsoever and send it away. But if it is about like a little bit bigger money, like something went wrong when you built your own house, I mean, you would always ask a lawyer and go to the lawyer. And also legal advices it is not legal to just ask ChatGPT, yeah? So in general, you could be punished for this, or ChatGPT could be punished for this. So we will not replace any lawyer, so I can just take this fear away. Another big point is that even if I use ChatGPT, for example, to create a document for any case, or if I want to sue someone, then you always need to be aware about hallucination. We had this case, I think 1 or 2 years ago, I don't know what was the date here, but a lawyer used a ChatGPT generated document and just gave it to the court, and there was some hallucination going on, and it was a big thing. And so the lawyer also thinks, okay, if hallucination is a big thing here in this case. Why should I use AI if I anyway need to do all my research and do all my homework? And like 80% of the work of lawyers is still research. So how can AI support my work? So this is a valid question. And I always say, I mean, just check what your use case is. If your use case is just writing, I mean, generative AI could support you in just writing, but you still need to do all your research and finding the right resources for it. Another point is regulation. I mean, if you use AI system software, you always have a lot of regulation that you need to take care about. I mean, this is just the landscape of AI-related regulations like Cloud Act, Data Act, Liability Law, Data Privacy, Copyright and AI Act. I will focus a little bit more on 3 different topics: Cloud Act, Copyright and Data Privacy. I will not focus on AI Act. I think we have here many presentations about AI where you can learn much more than here in this short amount of time. So let me tell you a little bit about the copyright. I'll go through all those regulations that are important. And maybe you also understand how you can set up your own AI project in the future, and also understand what lawyers and judges use at the moment. So first of all, we have copyright. The point is, in legal, we have a lot of resources, we have a lot of data, but all these data are behind a paywall, and they are all protected by copyright. We cannot just simply take any data or resource and just train an AI model. So it's super difficult, to use it. So setting up AI in legal space, it's just impossible at the moment, and it's still under discussion how we can deal with this topic. Another thing is, everything that comes out of the AI is could be lay under the copyright. So meaning, if this output is very close to the original one, what we have in generative AI, you violate copyright protections, So always check what the output is. And as I already mentioned, if anyway the lawyer needs to research all this information, if the copyright, if our data falls on our copyright, then it is not really useful or supportive for lawyers. So here I always tell, I mean, really check what your use case is, and if you really need generative AI, and if you really want to have this output here. And we say that you need to around like 80% just on your output, that you can claim your own copyright on the output. Also keep it in mind, if you use ever like ChatGPT or DALL-E or whatsoever on Midjourney, you need to make all your adjustments in order to claim copyright here. Another point is, some lawyers use already like ChatGPT because it's easily available. You just log in, you get all your information, you get your generated documents whatsoever. But I always need to tell all the lawyers and judges, I mean, be careful of GDPR. Don't put any private information to it, because all this information that go to ChatGPT can be used by OpenAI for further training, and then you violate GDPR. ChatGPT already offers your own instance where you can just save all your data in an like Azure or AWS cloud whatsoever, and it is not used by OpenAI for further trainings. But then we have the Cloud Act. What does it say? I mean, the Cloud Act says at the end that all the officials from America can ask for data in any emergency cases, which means if you save data on AWS, even if a server is located here in Germany, they can still ask for the information and for the data. So please be careful with this Cloud Act. I mean, and this is also the reason, for example, why some of the countries here in Germany, they do not allow like ChatGPT things or AWS, but also other countries, they allow it. I mean, it's always a risk management and checking what's better and how high is the risk in which cases. The best is always to use like an offline on-premise model like Mistral or Llama that you can install on your own server that you need to set up. But here, of course, it is not convenient as ChatGPT. I mean, as I said, ChatGPT, you just log in. If you want to use like Mistral or Llama, you have to set up a whole infrastructure. So you need to check always what is your regulation in case of data privacy and how much you want to put into your own infrastructure. And depending on your outcome, you set up a certain way of using AI at the end. But Mistral and AI, they are both like general purpose AI systems. And as I said, they are trained on English data, and they are also trained on general data. So not really useful for legal. I mean, we already have some legal generative AI system available. and they are working pretty well, but not for Germany, not for German data, not for German law. The point is always that you cannot simply translate one by one word because the meaning is completely different. And what we see here, for example, with Harvey is that in Germany is not that good working as in America. We also have like a German AI system. We will hear later about it. So I don't want to go into detail because of this, but you will hear some more information. So my advice would always be use an offline model and use something that is not as heavy as like a generative AI system. You could use, for example, a name entity recognition system that you find on Hugging Face, for example. Here they are already specialized in legal fields. And just combine it, for example, if you want with generative AI, like with Llama or Mistral. So you have everything, or you can install everything on premise, and it is safe on the site, and it's very easy to use and to run, and also it supports already lawyers and judges. For example, we use it in order to extract information out of documents, out of cases whatsoever, extract names, extract file cases so that you can forward into the direct person or to the file system directly. And at the end, you could also imagine including generative AI to generate summary or abstract keywords or whatsoever, yeah? But this already helps quite a lot. You don't even need generative AI. You don't need ChatGPT. You could also use other AI systems, smaller AI system, run it on your own computer and support the legal work. So at the end, it is always your decision what you want to do and how you build your own AI system. And you always need to decide based on the regulation, based on the data privacy, based on what you have on your table, and always check your own use case. I always see in the legal space that everyone wants to use ChatGPT. Everyone wants to use generative AI, but it's not always needed. And even if we have like an on-premise solution like Llama or Mistral, I mean, it's a heavy model, and you still need to install it, and you cannot just simply use your own laptop. And I think this is pretty oftentimes underestimated by people. And this is the only advice I can give you. Check before if you find a smaller model, and then if you really need generative AI, you can go further, but please start slower. And at the end, it is always your decision. From my 8 years working in this field, I have this experience that there is no one-fits-all solution. Always check what is your use case, and depending on your use case in the regulation, choose the right AI system and set up your system. I mean, that's it. Thank you very much.